Y'all, I was gonna just do like a recording of this, but it felt like more appropriate to just do a live stream, hang out with whoever might be up at this time. Cause I know I actually have a bunch of people that hang out with me from like South Africa. A lot of people from South Africa actually have been recently commenting on my videos, and it's just I don't know. It's so cool to me. I was talking to my dad last week, actually, about um, just like my channel itself. But I was just telling him, just like, no, actually, there's just like I have friends from like just all over the world that are hanging out with me, and it's just like we were just having like a cool, nice, just like chill moment where you're like just appreciating it, and just yeah, a little bit of a tangent, but that's what I'm known for. I am like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably a little bit tipsy, barely tipsy at this point. I went out with some old high school friends, turning 26 next year, or next month, darling. So it's not, when I say high school friends, it's like I have like this core group of people that I've known, that I've kept in contact with, like 5 people. And it's been nice. It's been such a um, nice change of pace being from not having like anybody to talk to and hang out with, especially when I was living in Washington, honey, and just had no friends and just was, y'all know the experience. It was just, Washington just was not a very nice time, very isolating time. So it was just nice, but we were having like, honey, we were having some margaritas, darling. We were just hanging out. We were catching up on life and just chatting, and it was nice. And it's my best friend Iris's birthday at this time as well. She just turned 26. And but I'm getting on a tangent. But anyways, yeah, we had some margaritas, honey. I had probably a little bit too many margaritas earlier this evening, but I'm pretty much sober now. Hey Simon. Ooh, girl. Well, maybe I should turn on a light. Hold up. I think my ring light just like. Ooh, girl. Ooh, why is it like that? Hold up. Girl. Howdy. A little bit too close to the camera, darling. This makeup is. I had this makeup on since this early this afternoon, darling, so don't judge me. But it was nice, and I was just. I've been off social. I promise y'all I'm pretty much sober, even if I'm slurring. I'm just never been very good at verbalizing things. But it was having a nice. I've been on social media for like a week now. I think it's a serve. I'm glad it's like. I think it's the lighting a little bit that like makes it look like my makeup's a little bit more put together than it actually is, admittedly. But I've been on social media now for like almost a week now, I want to say. And it's been nice. It's been like, I got off it initially because I was just like in this place where I needed to like digest my own trauma and just like get off. Like, I've been on social media since I was like a little kid, you know? Oh, you could use some prayers. I got you, girl. I don't have my glasses on, so if you might be seeing me like squinting. And um, yeah, I've been on social media for a week. How many times can I say that? And it's been nice. I got off it initially because I was just like dealing with my own stuff, and it's just like after being on social media for like majority of my life, as well as just doing it professionally, it's been nice to just disconnect. But I also like the world just like bums me out recently. The world bums me out because it's just like it just feels as if people have like the internet has just been such a thing for so long that people are just so used to just like not seeing humans as humans. And it's been like such a frustration for me. And so I had to like disconnect myself from it all just so I could like process everything, go, just have my moments, darling. And it got admittedly even tonight. I was a little bit just irked, and it's been kind of I'm just been frustrated because I received a comment. I received several of these comments, and it's really not like a big deal, but at the same time, it's still frustrating to me because it's like, I got off of social media because I was just like, all right, like, just tired of people not seeing people as like treating people and humans as just humans. And then like, I did a live stream, which I truly, honestly, at this point, I regret even doing. I probably won't ever bother. I'm not gonna say ever, but like, I don't plan on doing like all zodiac sign readings, live streams for a whole while, just because of like what I've been dealing with, and it's so silly. But it's just like, I did a live stream for all zodiac signs last week, which is just like a bonus thing. It's just like I had some extra time, and I was just like, all right, let me just do this. And so I was on a live stream, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna do the zodiac signs, take the timestamps, everything, and also just talk to the people that are choosing to hang out with me. And so it's just like, there's a lot going on at that time. And so I ended up making a mistake. Oh my goodness, like mind blown, a human making a mistake. And it's just been such a, yeah, people have been acting up, right? Philip, yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone in this. It's just so frustrating. Like, there's just so much going on, that there's like so much that goes on into a live stream. And it's just like, I ended up like overlooking, not even overlooking, because I tried to do Leo, but then I got distracted responding to somebody, and then I just looked at my paper, and so I was like, oh, there's a timestamp, maybe I must have just done Leo. And so I continued on. I really didn't think anything of it. And then when I saw the live stream later, I was like, oops, I forgot them. And it's surprising, like, it's insane to me how it's like the reaction I've gotten from Leos. Like, and I'm just like, wow, like it's insane to me, because it's like this weird. I've kind of realized just like how like dehumanizing this kind of just feels. Um, it's like insane to me. Like, it's not just with Leos. I don't want Leos to feel like they're targeted or anything like that. It's been because it's kind of just like any tarot reader. You can go to any of your favorite tarot reader channel, and they'll probably tell you the same thing. Or even honestly, any YouTube creator, really. Where it's just like there's just like people will like speak to you in such a dehumanizing way, and like people just feel like so entitled to your time and just energy. And it's just like I uploaded my weekly horoscopes for the earth signs this evening, and I got a comment saying just like, oh, do you just favor Virgos? Why did you do double uploads for Virgos, which I didn't, and like forget about Leos? And it's just like it's such a frustration, because I'm just like, girl, like, I'm doing this for free. Hello, hello. Hello, Freckled. How you doing? It's like I'm doing this for free. Like, like, like I do this because I want to be able to connect with people and hopefully help people. But it's at the same time, it's just like it's turned into like such a, at some points, right? I'm having my moment, y'all, right? At the end of the day, I still really enjoy doing tarot readings, and I'm never gonna stop. Um, but it's just been recently just like this, I don't know. I just like on some level I just like feel like shutting down, because it's just like, man, like even when I like do like sometimes like even in my past like all zodiac signs and just trying to hang out with people on a live stream, it's just like people don't want to even just talk to me to talk to me. They want to just have like a tarot reading. And it's just like I know on some level, and here we go. Of course I have like some type of troll in my channel. Uh, girl. Anyways, yeah, it's like this sense of where it's just like no matter what it is that I do, it's just like people just don't want to be normal. People don't want to just be like respectful and just see me as like a human being, regardless of like how much I try to um, kind of just like showcase, to like not, I try my best not to have like the internet persona, the YouTube persona that everyone will just, just being a personality, right? And just like, I try my best to just show as much vulnerability as I can, to just like let people know, just like, hey, like, we're all human, just because you're watching me on a screen, you're watching me on a screen, honey, just because it's like, I'm trying to like connect with people, right? It's just like, it's not like I'm doing this just for a sense of like, I don't know. And it's like, especially with like this whole, like the whole ordeal with like the zodiac signs and me forgetting Leos. It's just like insane, like just the level of entitlement people just have over my time and energy, and just I don't know. It just is. It's starting to just not feel as fun anymore. And it's just like I don't like that. I don't like that. I appreciate someone sent me a sticker. I can't, I'm blind right now, so I can't really see entirely. So, but I do appreciate it. Whoever did, please don't feel like you have to. I promise you guys, I'm okay. It's just like kind of nice sometimes just to like voice it out, right? Um, I promise you, like the uploads are still gonna be happening, honey. You're still gonna be seeing my face, darling. I just need a moment to vent. I didn't feel like editing a video. I didn't feel like doing anything. I just want to like talk to people, and maybe you guys can relate on some level, right? Because I know I'm not alone in this experience of frustration with how people just won't be normal, right? I know we all have like certain people in our lives, whether it's our family or friends, people have like this perception of us, of everybody. We all have perceptions of people. And, it takes a certain level of self awareness to like get yourself out of it, get yourself out of your own perspective, and like allow these individuals to just show you what it is that they are, show you what they're thinking, what they're feeling, right? Instead of you just assuming and then telling them or projecting like what you think that they're feeling, what you think that they're thinking, or what have you. It takes a level of self-awareness and a level where you kind of just have to care about more than just your own perspective. And you know I guess I'm at a point where I don't really yes, it's a vlog, darling. It's a vlog, Nathan. I'm vlogging, I suppose. Yes, it is a bully-free zone. It's always a bully-free zone. Well, it's a bully-free zone for non-bullies. I always like to say that I'm a bully to bullies. People leave like some hate comments, and I feel as if people will I will catch people off guard who will like type something hateful to me, and it's just like I think they anticipate hearing just like they're used to seeing just like a super bubbly, just like happy-go-lucky spiritual person, darling, and then like I'll clap it back, and they never anticipate like the clap back. So it's definitely a bully-free zone for non-bullies. So I guess I'm just like at this point of feeling frustrated because it's like, and it's not, you would think that my frustration would come in being like, oh, like what can I do to like have people like want to see like my tarot videos more and more, da 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 da, But for me, I'm just like, I and I know it's on my fault on some level. I've grown my platform giving tarot readings, but it's at the same time it's just like I don't know what I need to do differently to remind people how human I am as well, because it's just like or like what I can do to showcase just being human. And so, am I liberal? Does that matter? Why are we trying to talk about politics? What I believe in is no one's business. Am I just gonna have a live stream of trolls? Is that what's gonna happen as well? Oh well, that I guess that's glamorous as well, right? As long as you're looking at me, it's either way it works. I don't know. I guess it's just like I wanted to just vent it out, get my frustrations out there. Um, do not trust. Told me not to trust a Democrat. Girl, if you type anything more political, bye. Like this is not the place. This is not the place for that. But yeah, this is the full moon in Aries tonight. Actually, it's full moon in Aries. Did y'all do anything for the full moon? I still have to do my ritual. I always like to do my stuff, any type of like magical stuff at nighttime. So it's like this is like the perfect time. I could I could start an OnlyFans to express my humanity. Yes, let me just show. Yeah, I guess I'll really remind people how human I am. Right? It's just like show some booty. That'll remind people how human I am, right? I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but I find that amusing. Never be me though, darling. Never be me. Nothing against people who do OnlyFans, right? But it never could be me, darling. Ah. Humans are a lot, but that's what makes this life so fun, right? That's what makes falling in love, darling, like people trying to, find their soulmates, people trying to find people, we're all always just trying to find other individuals who can make us feel understood, who make us not feel as crazy as we actually might be, darling, right? You know what they say, right? It's like crazy people don't realize that they're crazy, right? But I'm okay with being crazy. I think being crazy, or at least the very least coming off as crazy, can be exciting, right? I always think about that as well, is because it's like anyone that um, I date or like will date in the future, like I make it all out there, right? My Instagram, like all my stuff, like like anyone that starts talking to me, like you talk to someone on like Tinder or like any type of dating thing, you're like, oh, what's your Instagram? My Instagram has, all of that. My YouTube, all that, and even my captions on my Instagram, honey, like I just let it all out there. And I know from an outsider's perspective, it's probably like looking at me and being like, holy cow, this person is unhinged. But I feel like that's what makes, I don't know, I feel it, I want to be able to live this life and not be, I don't want to say not be boring, right? I don't try to be like exciting. I'm just trying to be me. But it's just, I don't want to just be like another human being that it just like goes by your memory, right? I want to be memorable on some level. I want to like leave a mark. And hopefully that mark is a good mark, darling. Hopefully that mark is a good mark. I want to be able to like stand out and have people like think and be like, you know what? Like challenge their perception, whether it's just, and hopefully challenge their perception and how they will go about living life as well. I want to be able to like whenever I leave this world to be. Ooh, we're randomly getting dark. I don't think it's dark though. Like we're all gonna die, darling. Spoiler alert. We don't need some tarot cards for that. Hey y'all. Hello. Hello. Will I wear a trash bag? Oh, girl. What is it with these trolls? What is it with these trolls, darling? What is it with these trolls? As I was saying though, I want to, whenever I leave this world, right, I want to be able to leave the mark or where anyone that knew me or even saw me just be like, wow, make the comment being like, that was a bright soul. I don't want to be like another human that just like posts things on the internet or just like presents in such a way where it just is like more white noise, right? I feel like we have enough white noise. I want to be able to challenge people to be more of themselves because I feel like everyone's weird. Everyone's weird. Everyone's crazy. It's just a matter of like who cares enough to like pretend like they're not or to like try to hide it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, um, that I don't have emotions. It's just like, let's normalize having emotions. Let's normalize like having, I don't know, like let's just normalize being human. We're all human here. Why do we have to try so hard to like pretend as if we're like these perfect beings? I mean, we all know that we're not perfect, darling. We all know that we're not perfect. And so that's where like my frustration lies. I'm just like, well, how can I like work on that more? How can I like present in such a way or like say like what can I do further to challenge people's perceptions and to like remind people just how human that I am. And I think that's what's like bothering me is that like it's been kind of like a wake up call for me. Not in a like, and it's not in a bad way, but it just has been like a in the past like month. It's been like a wake up call for me, and realizing just how so many people just don't see me as human. Even when I was talking about and I exposed my abusers, and when I was in during my time in Satan and Sons dealing with that cult, like it's a very small minority, but it's still some people who will literally sit there and try to shame me for having feelings and about my abusers, and I don't know if it's just like me being like a man, and people just don't want to conceptualize like a man ever dealing with abuse, or because like my abusers being middle-aged women, like people don't want to conceptualize that. But it's just like it was insane to me to like hear like to see some of the comments or hear some remarks of people being like trying to chastise me and be like, oh well, like whatever, trying to either like dismiss my spirituality or call me immature or like whatever people like. I don't care, girl. Like their opinions don't pay my bills, right? But it's just like weird to me. It's just like, wait a minute, like I'm not allowed to like be upset after like 2 years of abuse. I'm not allowed to like have my feelings when I was referred to as a dog. I'm not allowed to like talk about it, you know? I'm not allowed to like make a mistake and just like miss one zodiac sign out of 12 when I do over 12 videos a week anyways. And it's just like that's where my frustration is. I know in the whole grand scheme of things, like it's really not like I can put it in perspective, darling. And if I'm sitting here like complaining about that, it's just like my life is so good, like my life is so good. If that's what's bothering me right now is just being like, oh man, like people aren't making see me as human as I want them to see me as, right? I should be like I feel so grateful for the fact that people even see me in the first place, you know? That's what it's like a dream come true. But it's just I don't know. I guess it's just at this place where, I'm very much so self reflective. I always like to just think about, um, I always like to challenge my own perception and challenge like the things that I'm doing, what I'm presenting, and to work on it, And that's just kind of at the point that I am. Whenever I consider moving, I did move. I did move. I left whenever I left Washington, that was when I like was able to like cut everything off and I was just like it's really been like the happiest that I've felt in so many years, like truly. And so many people truly do notice it. So many people have noticed like the difference just in me recording my weekly videos and like how much happier, how much more free that I am, And I'm like I feel so grateful that people are even able to notice that, right? But it's just like this I guess it's just me like processing everything, processing everything and just figuring out what I need to do next for, what service can I provide to the world, what can I do, what can I work on in myself to help be a better example for the world that I want to see. And I know that adds like that might come off as like this sense of like self-importance or what have you, but it's like I know I have some friends who will I have one friend in particular. He's an Aquarius. um, I don't think he would care if I said his name. His name is Hudi, and he's been always one that will like try to ground my perspective. Well, not always, but he'll like ground my perspective sometimes and make me. We'll talk about like such like big things in the world, and it's just like, it can make you feel so small, and make you realize that one person can't change the world. But at the same time, I don't want to accept that. That's something that I'm in forever denial about. Like I feel as if we all just like consistently like lived by the example that we want to see in the world, like so much could change. And so it's like for me, like I don't want to even stomach the idea of a reality where I won't be able to make a difference, right? So that's what I mean by it. It's just like I want to be able to challenge myself and be like, all right, like what can I do? What more can I always do? What can I work on in myself? Because it's like it's so easy to look at all these other negative things in the world and be like talk about all the negative things and just make ourselves really depressed about everything that's happening in this world, right? Think about all the things that separate us. Like what was going on in chat earlier, like someone talking about politics and being a liberal or Democrat. Like it's all these things. It's all this white noise, and it's just like it just is like let's just go back to being human, darling. It's a lot harder to like think about um, what change we can make in ourselves, how we can make ourselves happier, and I don't know. Maybe I'm getting on a tangent. Maybe I'm not making any sense at all. Maybe the margaritas that I had several hours ago are hitting. Right? Maybe that's the case, darling. Mm. It's election day in Canada. Ooh, honey. Isn't Canada election day in Canada? Like it's never really like talked about until like the moment of or something. That's something I remember hearing about at one point, but I don't know how true that is. So, yeah, that's just the point that I'm at, y'all. Like, I promise you I'm good. And I know even how I'm like sitting here and presenting myself. It's like, girl, don't feel bad for me. Like, truly don't feel bad for me. It's times like this. I am a very, um, I'm an emotional person in the sense that like when I start feeling something, I want to like really sit with it. I want to really cameo from Tulip. This Tulip, she keeps on making her appearances in these videos. She's gonna start asking for a cut from my YouTube check, honey. She's just like, hold up, the camera's on. Let me make my cameo real quick, darling. What a cutie. Girl, you better not mess with those vines. I know that much. I know that much. That will be coming out of your check, Miss Tulip, this month. But yeah, no, truly, like I am, like when I feel my emotions, like I want to just sit with them because when back before I was doing tarot professionally, I, um, the job that I had beforehand, I was taking care of patients and like there's so many times that like I would have to turn off my emotions because I was taking care of racist patients or homophobic patients, and a lot of times patients who were like dying or would die. And so it's like there's a long period, especially when I was an alcoholic as well, like several years where I just didn't feel any emotions. And so now when I'm able to feel the emotions, I want to just like sit with them, honey. Hey, Susie, how you doing? How you doing, you on that? I ordered a necklace from you. I haven't checked my mailbox. Maybe it's in my mailbox by now. But I ordered a little necklace. It was the sun necklace. I've been meaning to get that for a while. But yeah, like I was working at that point, and I had to like shut down. Like I really like I remember the moment where I realized I was like, wait, I'm not feeling any emotions. And so now that I'm able to feel them, I want to be able to just sit with them. I want to be able to feel them to the fullest extent, and just like enjoy the moment, darling, right? Because I feel as if, regardless of whatever emotion it is, whether it's sadness or depression, well, girl, let's not talk about depression, darling. Sadness or anger or happiness or what have you, like, I want to just sit in it and really see what it has to teach me. What can I take from it? Because it's like you're gonna feel the emotions regardless, darling. It's just a matter of like how long you're gonna like delay it, right? How long of are you gonna just taper yourself for like months on end and suppress like 99% of it each day? Or are you just gonna like experience it all out and then you just start the next day feeling fine, fresh, and funky, honey, right? I've This tool giving me that type of eye contact, darling. She's so silly. So I'm always that type of person. It's like, you know what? If I'm gonna feel it, I'm gonna feel it. And it just so happened I always end up making the decision that I'm gonna record it, honey. And I always say it too. I probably will end up regretting it on some level, or like look back and cringe a little bit, be like, I probably shouldn't have had this out on the internet. I always think about it too, especially whenever I meet someone new and they start perusing through my content and they're just like, I always think about it. It's just like, I feel as if I need to like get to know someone first before they see my content, because I feel like people will see my content and just really think that I'm just a little bit kooky. And maybe I am kooky. I think I am kooky. My signs, I am a Libra Scorpio cusp, and my moon is Virgo, and my rising is Cancer. My rising is Cancer, so it does make sense. I feel like I feel as if I really exude my chart. You don't really see the Scorpio side of my cusp unless I'm angry. You'll see it with like that's why I was saying beforehand. I'm a bully of bullies, darling. I don't have patience for mean people, and so it's just like if you trigger me in that way where I get angry because you're just being like a mean person, it's just like I'll clock out of being like all like lovey-dovey and all that, and I'll clock into being real aggressive, darling. But yeah, I feel like me being a Cancer rising makes a lot of sense. I don't know too much about my Virgo moon though, admittedly. My best friend's a Virgo. Y'all. Also, how do we feel about my setup, honey? How do we feel about this setup? Doesn't this look? It looks so much more magical on camera than it actually does, like in person. I promise you. Like in person, when you see this, you're probably like, "Oh, what is it like?" I am not a DIY person whatsoever, honey. Like as I always say, I'm a very creative person, but I am very creatively uh mechanically challenged. Well, yeah, I'm very mechanically challenged, darling, when it comes to any type of creative project. I can't fold a piece of paper properly. I can't do nothing proper, darling. So it's just like I do what just enough so for the camera to like make it look like it's all fine, funky, and fabulous, darling. But well, I guess it looks pretty cute. Even let me give myself enough credit, darling. Let me give myself more credit. It looks pretty cute, right? It looks pretty cute. I'm colorblind, so I can't see all the colors, but I think it looks pretty fabulous. Honestly, the favorite part of my setup always will be the bold and brash, darling. You'll know if you know this painting if you know, darling. I always say this bold and brash painting is the Mona Lisa of my generation. And I think I'm like technically, I don't know what I am technically. I think I'm on the like I'm a Libra Scorpio cusp, but I'm also like on the cusp of being a Gen Z as well as a millennial. I'm on the cusp of that. So I don't know what someone would really identify me as. Darling, listen to me trying to sound like I'm super special. Girl, I'm whatever you think I am, darling. I'm whatever you think I am. I'm old. We'll just say that I'm old, darling. Ah, you guys. Your boyfriend has that painting hanging. See, you know what? You know, Susie, we, he knows. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. Mm. Ah, it's so nice. It's so nice to be able to sit here and talk to you guys, right? I really should do more live streams like this, but I always just like feel as if like anytime I do a live stream, it always kind of will turn into this again my own fault for it. But like people will sometimes just like come into the live streams and just want to do like a tarot reading or like want a tarot reading from me, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So it's like I feel as if most of the time people don't care for me just like turning on my live stream or turning on my camera just to talk, right? But I think that's my own that's me just projecting, right? Yeah, let me call myself out. Let me call myself out right now. That's me just projecting, right? I know for a fact that there's always going to be some of y'all that want to just vibe out with me, just to vibe out with me. So let me calm down on that. Also, I forgot to I haphazardly made my bed, and I forgot to put my animals up. My mom bought this for me. I'm really not that huge of a stuffed animal person, but you know, whenever someone will buy me a stuffed animal, I'll keep it. Like I'm a very sentimental person, so I don't know why. Now I'm explaining why I have a stuffed animal. Girl, I can have a stuffed animal if I want to. I could have paid $500 for this, and it's my business, honey. Well, she's just gonna be chilling like that, darling. So yeah, I think it's now for me. I think I'm like at this place when it comes to my YouTube channel where I still plan on doing like my tarot readings. Like that's just never gonna stop. Like that's always gonna be my passion. That's tarot's always been my passion. But I want to like challenge myself more in the content that I'm doing and kind of like personalize it more. I've even thought about having like a second channel, but at the same time, I feel as if having a second channel is so unnecessary unless I'm doing something completely different than like just who I am. You know, my channel is Simply Velca because it's like I'm just simply me. Right? I don't think I ever like explained like my name about it. With it, Velca is like a name I came up with when I was like a little kid, like 7 years old, darling. That was like the name I came up with. Velca is just like I think I remember the thought process where it's just like I was thinking of a Zelda. And then my little kid brain came up, took Zelda, and was just like, oh, Velka. And so that was how it was. And then the simply part was just because it's like I like to think of how I explain things, how I will talk about things, very simple, right? You'll see a lot of practitioners or occultists. They'll talk about things, spiritual things, but they'll like to like it's as if like they read from a thesaurus, where it's just like they'll say a bunch of big words, just a bunch of fluffy words, but not really saying anything at all, darling, right? They'll be like, oh, darkness of the soul, shadow, da 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 da. I'm just like, okay, but what does that really mean? You're saying a bunch of like big words that make it seem like you know what you're talking about, but you're not really actually saying anything. So it's like, like I'll explain things just very matter of fact and just like as like a normal person, right? So that's kind of like the concept behind my channel name, where it's just like I like to think of myself just as very simple, right? I like to think everything that I do is just very approachable. And so, yeah, I think that's just like the next thing, that my next frustration is just trying to figure out like what I want to, what's next that I want to put out into the world and have. Yeah, word soup. That's really what it is. It's just a whole bunch of word soup. And it works for some people, maybe some people really, obviously, some people really enjoy sipping on that word soup, honey. But not for me, darling. I feel like all those big words do nothing but a disservice because it just makes spirituality and anything that you explain seem a lot more unapproachable than it actually is. It's just like, girl, come on now. Like, what you trying to prove, honey? Who you trying to fool? Mm. It's water. Imagine if this was just like a full grown, like full on margarita. Honestly, honestly, my birthday's next month, darling. Imagine. Full live stream, me just doing chugging margarita in this. Mm. Ah. Yeah, truth is simple. Truth is very simple. You don't need to add a bunch of words to something if, um, let me not. I will end up throwing shade when shade isn't really necessary. So yeah, just at this place of like figuring out what I want to do next for my content. Do I want to open up a second channel? But I feel like a second channel is just unnecessary. But at the same time, I'm also just like, well, what do I want to do that's like a little just bit more like outside of the whole tarot spectrum? And that can really like provide a service to people where it's not me just like talking about myself, right? Maybe some people would enjoy that, like me talking about myself, and there's be something that would gain from it. But it's just like, no, like for me, I just want to be able to like, I just want to put more out to the world. I want to be able to provide more to the world in a more humanistic way. You know, I want to be able to like challenge people's perceptions of themselves. And I don't know how to quite do that yet, you know, but I know it's like, it falls on me to figure out how to like challenging myself and be like, how can I make myself even more human? How can I make myself even more vulnerable in a way that like doesn't like make people try to feel bad, like doesn't make people, girl. I'm adjusting my girl, adjusting my girl, my tripod, and it's like trying to fall over, honey. You know. Ah! There we go. I don't think I've. Oh, now we're crooked. Girl, whatever. If this camera's not straight, neither am I. Nothing in this room is straight. Neither is Tulip. You know, so yeah, I'm at this point of being like, all right, well, if I need to, like, how can I make myself more vulnerable than what I already have been? And how can I make my vulnerability something that challenges people's perception more? And, you know, I feel like that it's going to just come with time, right? It's going to come with time. It's going to come with just figuring myself out more. But that's just kind of like been my frustration, is where just like, you know, I got off the internet or I got off social media because it was just like I was getting so checked out from like how humans just will not treat other humans with kindness. You have a tendency to use conflated speech, you know, and it's not like, you know, if people speak in that way, that's like nothing against them at all, right? It's more so just like, more so I'm speaking in terms of like the metaphysical community where they'll talk about like, you know, we'll talk about like shadow work. Shadow work's the perfect example. People like to really make shadow work this really over the top, ridiculous, like super wordy thing. When in essence, what shadow work is, while it sounds super like ooky, spooky, glamorous, like, ooh, what's shadow work? It's literally just like working through your own personal traumas, you know, working through your traumas, working through the things that you try to like pretend like you're not, right? That's what like, that's part of the reason why I love being vulnerable so much, is because it's like, you know, you can sit there and try to pretend like there's not parts of yourself that you're ashamed of, you know, but at the same time there's still a part of you. So develop a better relationship with yourself and whatever it is that you're insecure about, and become at peace with it. And maybe you're insecure about it because of some type of trauma, you know, and so it's just like a continuous progress with that. And so that's why, like, you know, in short, that's why I love vulnerability so much, is because it's like if you're able to be vulnerable, you know, there's such a power in that. There's such a strength in that. And that's quite literally what shadow work is, y'all. But you'll like look up on YouTube or look up on anywhere, and people start talking about shadow work in such a way where it's just like, oh, it's the darkness of their soul. It's da 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 da. And I'm just like, girl, like, do you even know what shadow work is at that point? That's a whole tangent, girl. Honestly, you know what? Let me, if I'm going to talk about how people talk about shadow work, maybe I should have a shadow work video out in the first place. Thank you so much, Jenny Nguyen. Welcome to the girls, honey. Welcome to the girls. Thank you so much for being a channel member. I love you. You've been accused of being a smart ass, but you've been anally retentive. You know, and let me not. word stew. Yeah, and I don't know. If that's how someone normally speaks, that's how someone normally speaks as well. And then sometimes that's how someone will just like retain information better, right? You know, it's I don't want to shame people that do speak in that way, but at the same time, I feel like it's important to like explain these things extremely like these concepts that like people were present in such a complex way, and just like break that down and be like, well, no, let's like speak about this in just like very basic, simple terms that it can be in, and just make it a lot more palatable or digestible for just the general public. We can talk about shadow work in this grandiose way, and maybe some people will be interested in it, and maybe that adds a sense of like self-importance for some people. But it doesn't interest a lot of people. Whereas if we talk about it in a simpler way, then a lot more people will be like, oh, that's what shadow work is, and that makes sense. Let me start working on that. And so there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Obviously, there's gonna inspire. Like, if it inspires someone, it's inspiring somebody, right? And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Girl, this is turning into such a different tangent, huh? But that's okay. I feel like I'm known for my tangents. I feel like, and if anyone's riding with me, honey, you're riding with me because you enjoy me just babbling on. Yo, what a crazy time though, y'all. When you think about it, it's such a crazy time in this world. We're still going through a pandemic, right? And I don't even want to hear about the opinions people will have about the pandemic and all of that, right? Have your opinions. We don't need to share 'em. What your opinions are, none of our business, right? But let's just take this back to a humanistic point of view where it's just like, we're still in this pandemic. We're all across the world here, even as we're connecting now. We're all in different parts of the world going through the same thing. And it's like I sit here and I just wonder, what kind of mental toll or emotional toll it's having on people, you know? And that's something I don't feel like enough people talk about. And that's part of the reason what drives me as well. I'm going into like another tangent talking about myself, but it's like I never really get to talk about like explain myself and the things that I do. So it's just like when I see the moment, it's like, "Ooh, let me take the moment now." Because I feel like what it is, the content that I put out into the world is like people perceive it in one way, but actually it's very purposeful in like what it is that I do. Like I feel like in this time especially, we need more people in the world, in the internet, especially presenting in just a normal, without the persona, without all the extraness. Because I feel as if during a time like this where the pandemic is still going on, people are quarantining, and there's just so much sadness, so much stress in the world. Like the one thing people really need or are craving is just authenticity. Is just like being able to just sit, if we can't connect to people on like person to person, you know, we can turn on a YouTube video and just have someone actually just talk to you as a person, not talk to you as like an influencer, not talk to you as like whatever, just like as a person. We have this amazing opportunity to just document humans being humans, and just really like allow people to not feel as alone in the human experience, in their emotions. And it's just like it's not utilized enough. And you would think, like with all the millions upon millions of people that have access to the internet, you would think that there'd be a lot more authenticity, a lot more just more genuineness being presented to the internet. But there's not. And so it's like that was part of the reason what inspired me as well to like have my channel, and to why I do what I do, because I'm just like I feel like it's just like one of those things that the world needs more of, and it's just like I feel like the day and the age, like we've passed the age of where like people act like like the influencers are just like personalities, right? Presenting a personality is just like it's such a dying art, we'll say. And I feel like it's just so important during a time like this for people to just be able to sit and connect to a human. At the end of the day, sit and connect to a human, and just sit and be able to see someone else on a screen, be like, hey, I'm going through this, not feel as alone. I know when I was a little kid, there wasn't really, there really was, I mean, there's like Prince and all that, but like, there was no like openly, or maybe there was like a couple. There was RuPaul, I suppose, but he's a drag queen. But it's like, there's no gay black boys wearing makeup and who was into the esoteric. You know, there was no one like me. And I never had anyone to talk to about the feelings I had or anything that I was going through. And I still don't really. And so I was just like, this is such a, you know, I know if I had um, my own channel, if I had my own channel, someone like me posting stuff and just presenting, it would have made such an impact in my life. And I would have been able to work through so many of my own, especially mental issues, um, a lot easier. Hello, hello, Shelly. How you doing, doll? How you doing, darling? It would have just been a lot easier for me to like figure things out if there was more people that actually just talked about things rather than just like pretending as if we're all just living these perfect lives, darling, having, you know, what have you. So that's what really inspired. Like that's part of why I do what it is that I do. I could easily do, you know, like the influencer, right? Very easily, you know, just pretend as if I have like this perfect, fabulous, bougie world, darling. Like it's so easy. Like, and maybe I would be a lot more popular if I did. You know, maybe I know I would be a lot more popular if I did, but that's okay. I'm not really searching for popularity. Oh, no, that's not true. I am searching to be having a voice to reach more people, but I want to be able to reach people through authenticity. It wouldn't be fulfilling to me to just be like an influencer, and just because it's just like, to me, I just eye roll anytime someone's like, because I feel as if maybe it's just only obvious to me, but I feel like it's so obvious when you see an individual like presenting a persona, you know. You know, it's like I feel like it's so obvious. Girl, why are we talking about meth in chat? Girl, what is my chat, honey? What is my chat, Charlie? What's up, Uriel? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's like a. Hmm. I just wonder what life would be like, how different the internet would be if people just stopped pretending. Because I feel like everyone can see through the facade, but everyone kind of just like is so used to just like like pretending like they don't see through it, that that's just like become the norm, and that's like weird to me. You know, that's weird to me. You ain't judging. Why are we talking about? Hold up. What am I missing in chat? Favorite crystals? Oh, math. I can appreciate. Favorite crystals for me? Um, my top three crystals are lapis is my first one. That's why you always will see like blue and golds are like I feel like I look really good. Like those are like my colors, honey. Lapis has always been my favorite. Citrine as well as malachite. So that's why I have a couple lapis skulls. And that was another thing. Someone left a comment on my channel the other day, making a comment being like, telling me that I need to have different crystals and that seeing skulls was uninspirational and just like the type of way. And I was just like, and told me to like put different crystals on my setup. And I'm just like, who's paying for this? Like, why do I need to, like, why do I need to change my setup? Like, what makes you comfortable enough to tell me that I need to change my setup because you don't like it? Like, would you ever say that to another human being, you know? Yeah, I have lapis. And let me see. I have a drawer here. My bed has drawers, y'all. And I have a drawer of crystals. Let me see if I can find a citrine. Ooh, I've shown this in a live stream before, but y'all want to see my favorite crystal? Or my favorite, well, it is my favorite crystal, but it's my very first crystal that I ever owned. I bought like a set of a few of them, but there's this quartz crystal that I bought, and I forget what year it was. I was like probably like 10 or 11 years old, but it was during one summer when I was going to a lot of the national parks in the United States. And this is like one of the crystals that I bought. It was my very first crystal. It used to have a name. It has a name. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, this is like my very first crystal. I have distinct memories of like taking a toothbrush and trying to get off all the dirt from it and all that. But nothing too glamorous. Not, girl, I just dropped it again. Nothing too glamorous, right? It's super flawed, but it's just like, it's so nice. Let me see if I can find a citrine, y'all. Oh, I have a citrine right here. Here we go. Oh, I have a couple right here. So I have, this isn't just one big old chunk of citrine. This is, a friend gave it to me at the time. Unfortunately, we're not talking anymore, but it was kind of like of my own volition. I kind of needed to like separate myself from the old life that I had in the cult, and they were unfortunately part of that. Reminder for me. So there's this organite that has a bunch of like little citrines in it. Super gorgeous, right? Super gorgeous for a grid. But baby, this is like, y'all won't believe me the price, because there's a difference between citrine and heat treated amethyst. Like there's a clear difference in how it looks and everything, and I feel like people get it confused. They're not the same thing in my opinion at all. I don't really like heat treated amethyst, but this crystal here, y'all, when I tell you, like, if y'all know, if you know crystals, you know how expensive just natural citrine is. And I got this citrine for $25. It's $25, y'all. And it's a nice, like, my big old head, honey. Like, it's a nice size. Like, my big old man hands, it's a nice size. And I was just like, it was insane to me. Like, when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh. So this is, like, one of my prized possessions. One of my many. I'm proud of all of them. Chunky. Listen here. Hold up, Jenny. You talking about me or you talking about the crystal, honey? Hey, Savvy. How you doing? Honestly, y'all, I have been acting pretty chunky recently. I have been eating like trash recently. Eating like absolute trash. So honestly, like I'll be calling myself. I've been calling. So I know someone in the chat said amethyst was their favorite. I have this. I have this habit. I used to actually have so like if I kept all the crystals that I've had over the years, I would have so many more. And like I've been collecting crystals. I mean, yeah, since probably like 15 years, 16 years, darling. But I have like this habit where it's just like I like to give crystals, especially like when I was in high school. I would just give crystals to people. That's just always been my thing. I'll give crystals, anything that I just for my own personal keep that I have. I don't know why. It's just something that I. You're in lockdown. You're well fed. I was doing so good during most of the lockdown, and then just recently, darling, it's just been we've been munching, honey. We've been munching a little bit too much. But I have this crystal amethyst, and funny story is the first time I was in a cult, honey, in high school, darling. I'm a moth to a flame when it comes to cults, apparently. My dear friend at the time, I lost contact with her, but her name was Tanya Creedon. And you can even look her up on YouTube, Tanya Creedon. We used to be in a cult together. We didn't know at the time. That's always like the thing. Like no one ever knows you're in a cult until you get out of it. But she mailed me this crystal for my graduation when I graduated high school. And yeah, I've always just kept it. Same with this um, fluorite tower. I've had this or selenite. I don't know why I said fluorite. Selenite tower. I bought this from her when I was in high school. And I've always kept it. And just a sweet old lady that was in Pennsylvania at the time. I think she lives in Arizona now, last I remember, last I checked. Just random memories that like that's what I'm not a materialistic kind of person. Someone made a comment on my channel a couple weeks ago asking if I had a wish list. I used to have one, but it's only just for like tarot cards. And I ended up making another one for people, like just to put if someone wanted to get something for my wish list. But it was mainly all just stuff for my cat, like really. Like if someone wanted to get like treats for Tulip or something like that. Because it's like, I'm really not a materialistic kind of person. Like, I like stuff. Like really, like I like clothes and I like crystals. But even with crystals, like I don't really care for like anything too flashy. But that's always just been my thing. It's just like I'm very sentimental when it comes to what people will give me. Like you can give me a pen, and in fact I have like a couple pens actually that people have given to me throughout the years, and like I will just keep them. And I like very small things. But let's see here. Is this just gonna turn into like a little bit of a crystal haul, honey? I'm so glad I can talk to you guys. I feel so much better. Let's see here. Another lapis right here. A lapis sphere. That's like my favorite shape is spheres. I love a sphere, darling. Any type of crystal in a sphere, eat it up. I love a sphere. Let's see here. What other crystals can I show that has a story? Oh, y'all will see, I have two wands. So this is one wand. This is not the wand I will hold in my live streams, but they're actually pens. These wands. Another behind the scenes, darling. Let me see. Do I have the other wand up here on the table? I do. I do. Here we go. So this is the wand I always would just like play around with, that I'll hold during my or during my videos, just because I like to. I talk with my hands, darling. If y'all can't tell, so like having a wand or just something to just like hold and just like do fling around. It just is like, and I enjoy. But yeah, they're actually like they look like wands, and I guess they're technically wands. But yeah, they're pens, and a friend gave this to me a couple years ago. Sent me a little box of stuff when I had a P.O. box in Washington. I just opened another P.O. box actually for Texas. But yeah, she sent me 2 of these. And so that's always just been like, I love these a lot. And so just another little story. Like, I like things with stories. I don't really like to go out and buy myself crystals anymore. I've kind of gotten out of that phase unless I feel really called to it. But like, I like, I don't know. There's some like, I feel as if there's like a special, um, like having a crystal gifted to you that has just so much more energy to it. Is there amber behind on it? This one, this one I know is just a marble, the one that I will always hold. Marble, I think this is like bloodstone and quartz. This might be amber on the end. I'm not sure on this one. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if it is amber or not. Let's see here. I have this owl. I bought this owl. This is one of the crystals I actually bought for myself. Is this owl? There was like little perch for it. And it was made in Peru. I bought this in Washington because owls has always been my spirit animal. When I was a little kid, I remember dreaming of this little brown owl that used to follow me in my dreams, and like um, you'll know this, if you know, darling, right? In a dream, like what's like I can always tell something that has spiritual significance in a dream or not, just because when I focus in on it, or like when it makes its appearance in the dream, it kind of like takes me out of like the dream thought process. There's like a different feeling to it, and that's like owls have always just followed me. Even if I take like the online test, darling, being like, oh, what's your spirit animal, like I always get owl. And so it's like owls have always just been my thing. So when I saw this, I was just like, ooh, mine. I forget what this was made out of, what crystal was made out of. Let's see here. What else do I got here, darling? Ooh, this crystal here. I have a whole bag of these crystals, but this crystal here was given to me as well from my yearbook teacher when I was in high school. She had like a whole bag of them. So it's so gorgeous though. It's like its own little like perch. It reminds me of if any of y'all have played like Super Smash Bros. Like is it called like Final Destination Stadium? That one stadium where it's just like a flat bar, right? That's what makes me think. It makes me think of like a Super Smash Bros. Like stadium that you would fight on. I haven't played Super Smash Bros. Since I was a little kid. Let's see here. Anything else interesting that I can show y'all? Another citrine I have here. See, let me showcase to you guys. Like, you know, I showed that one crystal, right? Where is it again? I showed this crystal, how I got this for $25, this citrine, right? In my opinion, it's gorgeous. I really don't know how I managed to get this for only $25. But this citrine I bought for myself. This is like the first crystal I bought when I was in Washington. I literally said 5 minutes ago, I don't really buy myself crystals anymore. I keep on bringing up crystals I bought for myself, but I digress. I really don't buy them in for myself anymore, though. This citrine, I paid, I think it was $90 for. $90 for this citrine. And some would argue that I overpaid for it. On some level, I probably did, but like it wouldn't not. I didn't overpay too much for it. Like citrine is generally expensive, but I bought it because there's a reason as to why I bought it. It's because, like, it reminded me, like, because this is literally the first crystal, like, the first week of me being in Washington. And I was just like, oh, I want to have something. And it reminded me of the very first crystal that I bought. So I was just like, a lot more expensive, honey. A lot more expensive. Okay? A lot more expensive. But it was just like, it reminded me of my very first crystal. So I was just like, oh, Girl, this crystal I've had for over a decade and I keep on dropping it. I'm surprised it's still in one piece. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, I gotta have this. I gotta keep it. So that's my justification for it. Let me see here, y'all. Anything else interesting? I don't think so. I mean, I have this big old chunk of black tourmaline. I feel like if someone were to ever ask me what crystal or stone that they should get, I always will tell someone just to get a big old chunk of tourmaline, black tourmaline. Never overpay for it. People try to oversell, like overprice this. You can literally get like a full like 2 pound bag of black tourmaline chunks for like less than $10. Like I think I paid $20 for this big old log of tourmaline. But black tourmaline is so good, whether it's for your rituals, whether it's for just keeping around, so good to have. I feel like everyone should have a black tourmaline. No excuse not to. Oh my god. Okay, I don't think it's gonna catch on camera, but it's not catching on the mic, but there's literally an owl like hooting right now. I have never there was used to be owls in Washington where I would hang out at, but like I've not ever heard an owl. Wow. Ooh, girl. Y'all. Ooh, come on now. You know, that's what I'm talking about, darling. Like, literally, I've never heard an owl out here in Texas, especially where I live in Texas. So it's like, just for this owl, just to really, like, girl, what was I saying? I hope it's catching on my phone, like, on my live stream. Like, it's insane. Like, wow. I probably come off as crazy. Hey, what's up, I'm doing a little bit of a crystal haul, but at the same time, I haven't. Like, I was just talking about how my spirit animal is an owl. Ah, yo! I probably come off as crazy, especially if it's not like catching, but okay, like, okay now. Okay, maybe I'm not crazy. This is how I will always have like utmost confidence in everything that I do spiritually is like, yo, I'm gonna keep on just stopping every time I hear the owl, right? I never get like this makes me so happy. I really needed this. I'm not gonna cry, but it really makes me happy to have that. Because it's like that's if you like that's the thing. It's just like spirituality, it's like you have like there's always going to be that level of like what faith like you think about what faith is, and faith is being able to believe in something even if you don't have a reason for it. Spirit in the house, honestly. I've always had some strong activity when it comes to anything spiritual. My first well, it's not my first, but there is like I don't know what being it was, but oh, this was when I was in high school. It's probably like a sophomore in high school, and I like woke up in the middle of the night one night, and I saw like this black figure. And it was probably like I like how I'm doing like this as if you can see from the floor. It was like the size of like a yard gnome. It was like the size of like what you would see in like a yard gnome, right? That you see out in someone's lawn. And I woke up like from a dead sleep and I looked right at it and it was like just a black figure. I could not see any type of silhouette. It was literally just like it was as if someone just like took like a black line to like you know when someone tries to like you know what I mean. It's like just a black figure. And then it starts like when I looked at it, it started circling around me. And every time I would get behind me, I felt like this weird tingly feeling. And so, but yeah, I've always had some insane spiritual activity wherever it is that I go. But that's just because, like, you know, I've always, like, I always say, like, the core beliefs or my core practice is connecting with different otherworldly beings or different deities. When I was in Washington, the first month of me being in Washington, my bedroom, uh, like this is insane, honestly, y'all. I was in my bedroom and there was like right outside my window, and Tulip heard it too, cause like I was just sitting there. I forget what I was doing. I think I was like watching YouTube. And then I saw my cat, Miss Tulip. She like went to the window and started like poking her head out at the window. And I had like my blinds up. I was just like, girl, like if you want to see like girl, if you want to see look in my window, you look in my window, honey. Like what I don't like whatever. But then like I heard like footsteps like pacing back and forth from my window. And it wasn't just like tiny little animal footsteps. It was like it was a human footstep. They're like pacing back and forth. And I was just like, and Tulip was like trying to like look. And I was just like, girl, get your little, grabbing her by the neck. Like, oh, get you before, you know. But still, like I'm the type of person when I get scared, I just get angry and I get confrontational. So it's just like, well, I think the owl's gone out. Girl, that was so insane, y'all. That was such an insane experience. Um, anyways, yeah. So I heard like these footsteps pacing back and forth. I stuck my head out eventually to see, and there's nothing there. And then like a day or two went by, and then I was in my bathroom. I sat down to tinkle, honey, and then I've heard footsteps go towards my bathroom door, and just stop there. And I was just like, girl. And then the next night, same thing. I went to the bathroom to tinkle, and I heard the footsteps again go to my door, and this time I heard like a knock, like a two knock. And I was like, girl, what the heck? And of course, there's no one there. And then like a week goes by, and I woke up from a dead sleep one early morning. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have like this habit, and I got it when I was living in California due to trauma, honey. But I have like this big old suitcase. And it's like a 50, like over 50, 60 pound suitcase. And that's because like when I was out and living in California, when I was living in Washington, like this new setup here, me being in Texas, this is the first time in 3 years that I'm not living out of a suitcase. Um, Oh, that's kind of crazy to think about. Anyways, so I had my suitcase and it's like 50 pounds, all my stuff, and I always would put it at my door. Um, because of reasons, dearly. And there's just like I woke up from a dead sleep one morning. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just woke up and like, if you watch like Paranormal Activity, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's like right before something spooky happens, there's like this tenseness that is like showcased, and that was what was happening, was where I felt like this tenseness, and it was like something was about to happen. And honey, it did. Tulip again was like sitting at the corner. Like Tulip always like whenever I go to sleep, she'll like sleep on top of me. And she like got up and sat at the foot of the bed, and she was just staring at the door, and I was just staring at the door. Like I don't know what was possessing me to like stare at the door, but I was staring at the door. And when I kid you not, guys, y'all, y'all. I had my 50-pound suitcase there, and literally after like 30 seconds of me just staring at after just randomly waking up from a dead sleep, hey, what's up, Jacqueline? How you doing, honey? I woke up from a dead sleep, staring at that door for like 30 seconds, and that door flung open. That door flung wide open. My suitcase was moved. Like, it was insane. Like, it was pushed against the... It was insane, y'all. And, like, I can even talk about it now, but it's like one of the like I've had so many experiences like this where it's just like it's so unexplainable. And it's like I can talk about it and it's like I literally can't sit here and explain like how it's happened. But it's like even when it happens, like there's like this disconnect that I had like mentally with it where I was just like normally like if my door flung open right now, I'd be like freaking out. But it's like in the moment of those happening, like, on the knocking and all this stuff, like it just wasn't freaking me out. It was just like it was strange, y'all. It was so strange. So like the door just flung open and I just kind of like laid there. Tulip looked at me, I looked at her, and I was like, okay. And like I closed the door again. And there's a little bit more stuff that happened after that, but yeah, it's like I've always had some really crazy experiences happen, but it's like I've never had anything bad happen. That's why I always tell people, like, I feel so passionately when I tell, like, when people are just like, oh, Velka, I want to work with this being, I want to, like, da da da, but I'm scared, I'm worried. And it's just like, girl, like, as long as you're respectful, as long as your intentions are pure, darling, like, there's never been a time that I have been hurt or affected physically in a negative way from working with spirits. From working with spirits, angels, demons, like what have you, right? I've been working with the Goetia demons for well over a decade now. Like I've just never had anything bad happen to me, and I've always just been like, you know, so I don't know. That's like my little side tangent there is where it's just like if you feel like connecting to something, connect to it. Like people always will like over like stress out about things and feel as if like they'll like mess something up or like they're worried about their safety and all that. But it's just like I don't know. Just don't be stupid, you know? Just like you wouldn't just go out into I don't know. Don't be stupid and you'll be fine, honey. Your sister saw a shadow walk into our room through a corridor, went into her room and appeared as a man with long hair and a staff. Ooh, that sounds so creepy. I love Miss Tasha. I'm clocking you for saying corridor. That sounds so fancy, darling. Let me live with you, honey. That's so weird, though. Let's see here, y'all. What other y'all? That was. I'm so glad I got that on camera. That was such a cool moment for that owl. Like, what are the chances? Like, the owl's not here anymore. Like, literally, it's so weird. Like, that was such an insane experience. Anyways, another lapis little egg, honey. Let's see here. Do I have any other interesting crystals? I don't know if I do. Oh, my grandma gave me this. It's not a crystal, but this is probably the second oldest thing that I own, aside from the crystal that I showed y'all before. My grandma gave me this shell because I used to collect shells. Like that was like my first thing that I always would collect. I used to have a giant shell collection before I just got rid of everything. And she gave me this like shell that has my zodiac sign, well, partially my zodiac sign. But yeah, I don't think I really have anything else that's like interesting to show. I don't think I do, anyways. But yeah, that was my little crystal collection. I have some more, but nothing that's really worth showing, I don't think. Ugh. Y'all, that was so cool. I really hope that was catching on camera. That like made my night. I'm happy now. All right, let me put that away, darling. Move that drawer back. Those rats have been dealt with. Yeah, that owl came in and she was like, the owl said, "What's up, honey? I just munched on those rats, darling." Owls are so cool, man. Owls are like, in my opinion, like the dogs of the aviary. Maybe that won't make sense to anybody else, but I feel like they're just like the birds that have like the most personality. Well, not the most personality, because I feel as if ravens are crows. Is it ravens or crows? Ravens. Ravens. I think ravens. Yeah, ravens. Um, have like very strong personalities as well, but yeah. You had to rewind to check out their crystals. Yeah, I'm glad you like my crystals. I have to like maybe someday just do like a full-on dedicated video, um, uh, just showcasing all the crystals that I have like together. Because I have like a bunch of like smaller ones and stuff. A lot of the crystals that I have all have like stories attached to them. It'd be weird if it didn't. Just pausing for silence, but it should. Wait, what is weird? What is up? What did I miss? Did I say something that I don't remember? Maybe I did. All right, that's fine. But yeah, also, again, I think I said it before. You don't want to mess with magpies. Girl, I just saw a TikTok the other evening of this magpie that was going buck wild on somebody. See, I'm gonna be honest. Like I see these videos of like magpies, these roosters and stuff that are like attacking humans, and like maybe it's just like everyone always says like, oh, if that was me, I would handle the situation differently. But people are like running away from these animals, and it's just like, God bless you if this is gonna offend you, darling. But it's just like if a rooster's coming and attacking me, darling, if I have a magpie like coming and attacking me, darling, you got one girl. Let's see him. You got like that rooster has like one peck at me. That magpie has one peck at me before it gets punted, honey. Like that's the thing. It's just like I don't understand people that just be running, darling. Because it's like could not be me. You have one. You have that one time. You have that one time you be packing me, darling. You got that one time and that one time only, and that's the last. That's the only time I'll be dealing with it, darling. It makes me think about the scene from Zelda from Ocarina of Time. Is it Ocarina of Time where it's like you attack the chickens and then it's just like a swarm of chickens start attacking you? Girl, ooh, honey. Ooh, now we just blacked everything. Hold up. Ugh. Hold up, honey. Ugh. The chicken gods are angry with me, apparently. Ugh. Hello. A talk mess about some chickens and roosters. Ooh, that is not lighting friendly for me. Let's see. Ugh. Ooh, that is not friendly lighting for me, darling. Let's see here. Oh well. Maybe that's just a sign, this live stream has been going on a hot biscuit anyways. Not me ending a live stream because my lighting's awful. Ugh. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me though. I appreciate it. I feel a lot better now. I still don't know what I'm gonna do to change my content up to remind people how human I am. But this is the start though. Oh, there we go. Ooh, hold up. I think we got it, girls. We got it. Girl, these lights are being crazy. It was happening at the beginning of the live stream where it's just like my light turned off, then it turned off again. Then all my lights just turned off once again, honey. Girl. So crazy. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Now Tulip's going crazy. Girl, let me turn off this live stream before something starts happening. The haunted chicken goes. Truly though, the moment I start talking about whooping some rooster's ass, darling, it's just like I pissed something off. I pissed some rooster off. Look, and I said, I'm sorry if it pisses you off, darling. PETA, don't close your ears, darling. But it's just again, I don't care. Human or animal, you have one time to be disrespecting me. You got one pluck at me, and I'm gonna be clucking back. All right. Yeah, the birds ain't happy. That's why the owl left. The owl heard me talk about how I would square up with the owl. Honey, actually, I remember, if you all know how mean geese are, especially Canada geese, like they're mean. You can Google it. Like Canada geese are just awful. And it's just like when I was living in Washington, I would walk in the parks. There'd just be a bunch of Canada geese that would always just be there. And one time, I was just sitting there and I was just eating my Lunchable, honey. And this male Canada geese came over trying to harass me, scorping like a chirping, just really what do geese do? Squawk. They were doing it sounded like some kind of raptor, or I don't know, girl. It was just it sounded ugly. That's what it was doing. It was doing some type of ugly sound towards me, and flapping its wings going towards me. And girl, I did not hesitate. That's the thing. Ridiculous. I do not do disrespect, darling. I'm sitting here eating my Lunchable, and you're trying to come over, squawking at me for no reason. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I full blown, full blown got up. I started screaming and yelling and chasing after that geese. I don't think the geese definitely wasn't anticipating it, because it's just it's like a switch for me. The moment something tries me, I'm trying to mind my own business, darling, eating my $3 Lunchable, and you're trying me for something, you're trying to move me from my spot. Rosa Parks did not stay sitting down, darling, for me to be moved by a Canada geese. I know that much, darling. You're not gonna be, no ma'am. You're not, I don't care, I don't know what you ate in your Cheerios that morning, honey, but I'm not the one, darling. So I'm not, that's basically what I'm trying to say is I am not against whatsoever squaring up with anything. I'm never gonna be that bigger person, darling. If you're gonna try me, darling, I'm gonna go low. Michelle Obama says when they go low, we go high. I disagree. A mess. Let me end this live stream, darling, before I start pissing off some more rooster geese spirits, and then one of my lights start combusting, darling. Uh, I love you all so much, and I will be talking with y'all soon. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I need to do more live streams at nighttime. I probably will do that. There's that Scorpio energy. That's really it. I am yeah, girl. I have some stories about that. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you again. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I feel so much better. Still don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just feel I needed this reminder. It's just like, you know what? Maybe not. Anyways, I love you guys. Before I get on another tangent, y'all have a lovely evening or morning or whatever time that you're in. I hope you just have a lovely full moon in Aries, darling. Because I gotta still do some spooky stuff, anyways. I gotta do some rituals. So I love you guys, and I'll be talking to y'all later. How many times did I say I love you guys? I love you guys. I know. I really do hope that owl does come back. That was so cool. That was such a cool moment. I really, really hope that was caught on camera because that was just such a surreal moment. Anyways, love y'all. Bye.